Poppy is the consideration. Certainly ruins good old Camille's day.
I mean, the thing about this is Camille, in theory, could still just go support.
Yeah.
And Kayle could go top lane, and that would be fine. I mean, Poppy can win the laning phase, but then Kayle obviously comes online later. The issue for Hanwha Life is that they seem completely clueless as to what DRX's team composition is trying to do in later stages, and they're just trying to brute force it with the Taric Karma, the shields on wheels, with Aphelios just running straight in, but you have to chew through Azir, Kayle, and now Ashe. And Kayle ultimate is going to be really strong against Hanwha Life's team composition as well. So it just feels like a massive blunder. They had all the information face up. They disregarded it entirely. And I don't know.
Yeah, Kesman and CV Max looking like they are pretty good friends as they walk on back. But we'll see whether they're going to be as happy once this game is over. I think this is really cool, seeing the Kayle support that you've spoken about so many times. I think even when, you know, she was just locked in as an obvious counter matchup top lane into something like an Ornn, it is something that we've spoken about. So good to finally see it here in the LCK. And we'll see how Keria is going to make it work, because so far he's debuted quite a few different champions. In the, he was our first Pyke player for summer, also playing the Zillion down there. Lots of different pickups here for good old Keria. Also bringing back the Yuumi on 10-13. Still mixing it up here as we get onto the Rift for game number 2. And there she is.
Yeah.
Good old Kayle.
And we'll see what is going to end up happening. Now, when they were playing Kayle in solo queue, they were often pairing it with Nocturne for the combo.
Oh, yeah. Would it work as well with the bear?
Yeah. Well, you know what's really funny is Volibear ult into Lulu ult. That's a very funny.
Oh wow, yeah.
Very funny combo.
That's a very big bear.
That is a very big bear, honestly. You're really very nice.
Do you know what would be cool? If you could cast Wild Growth on Tibbers.
A cartoon Volibear skin, where he looks like a toonie Volibear.
Oh yeah.
Very fluffy, very nice.
Is that because of your obsession with Samoyeds? Is that coming out again?
Yes, it is.
I like it a lot.
Thank you.
I wouldn't mind some like sort of Yogi Bear style Volibear with like completely redone voice lines, because you know how we've got some skins that are pretty closely matched thematically with some things outside of the IP of League of Legends.
Yep.
I
have a question.
That could be a fun one.
When was the last time a champ came out and it wasn't utilized constantly in pro play? What is the last one? I guess initially Kiana, right?
I guess so. I'm trying to remember.
Mordekaiser rework.
I mean, maybe Kane's like the closest one.
Kane's probably like the legitimate one where he just.
I mean, he's been played recently actually overseas, just not here in the LCK so much. But was one that sort of struggled to get into pro play too effectively, as Deft is going to walk back into the Dazzle. And Trey's back relatively well here. Both of these lanes with some decent sustain. And we've seen Ashe into the Aphelios quite a few times here in the LCK. This Keria's just throwing Qs, having a good time.
Yeah, the base damage on Kayle is somewhat nice. And obviously the sustain with her healing. So we have a Paladin in the bot lane versus another Paladin.
Yeah, theoretically a gnome Paladin here on the top side. I think that's an illegal class race combo in World of Warcraft, but CuVee is going to ignore it.
Is Poppy a Paladin?
I mean, it uses a shield.
So do Warriors.
And a mace. And so do Warriors, I guess. But not often maces and shields. You know, that's more of like a healer class type move.
Okay.
You don't often see like a Warrior standing outside of, a couple of swords. I have been playing a lot of Classic recently though, so even if they're a tank, they're using 2 swords.
Alright.
Real silly. Shields are for the weak, I think.
I guess she has some, yeah.
I mean, this is Lollipoppy, so it's the Ultra Troll skin coming out from CuVee.
The cutest Poppy skin is the Santa Poppy.
Yeah?
The Reindeer Poppy. Oh yeah. That's the best one, I think, in my opinion. It has been a very long time since support Kayle.
Wraith played it into SKT's Wolf.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Well,
I hadn't thought about Wraith for a really long time.
Yeah.
It was him and Stitch, right?
Yeah.
They subbed in at Worlds 2017.
He ended up just quitting. It was very strange.
Yeah.
His whole career path, if anyone ended up following it. Not quite sure what exactly happened, but...
Played some Alistair here and there.
Yeah.
He had some decent
He
performances.
had a really good ID. Wraith is a cool ID.
Yeah, it is a very cool ID.
Really sad. He tainted it. This is what ended up happening, because he retired too early, and now if someone picks it up...
Could you imagine if, like, imagine Wraith and Viper together? Like, they're two, like, pretty, you know, badass IDs. Okay. As Haru's just going to come and interrupt here, as there's the flash out from Keria. Haru not going to be able to find too much, but Viper does land the Q. Deft taken down to about 300. Finds himself the proc on the grab at him. But flash already down from Keria. Deft holds on to his, so he's going to be able to still stay up in this lane, which could help DRX out. Shields coming in. Guardian going to work out here. But still, aggressive moves from Hanwha as they look to get a shove and look for an early recall here at about 5 minutes.
And Viper did the thing again where he starts...
Mireu? Okay, Chovy didn't quite have enough for conquering sand.
Oh, but unlike Cuz in the T1 game, maybe this Volibear could do a...
What is happening?
I'm actually pretty sure Pyosik could have killed Mireu. Actually, I'm 100% certain he could have killed Mireu.
But
or
you know
at
what he
least
can
got
kill?
the flash. Oh, he can kill the Raptor camp.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the percentage play right there.
True.
Because it's about winning your matchup, not about getting kills in the mid lane. Don't be silly.
Now, this is a interesting decision by CuVee. He's insta-shoving out the wave. Gonna end up recalling, even though he is very healthy. So wave's gonna come back into him. Everything's gonna be fine. Hanwha, like, they do get the first strike of the game.
Cloud gonna be the second one. So we'll see whether it's going to be Hanwha getting themselves to a second Drake early in this game. Will certainly help them out, especially considering their composition is going to come online pretty effectively in the later stages. I do want to talk to you about, like, we talk about Kayle as being a hyperscaling champion, right? But in the support role, is it still the same? Like, I
mean, she
doesn't win
really,
a lot.
No, she doesn't scale the way that you would expect her to, and she doesn't get the gold that you would expect her to. I think an interesting thing would be Kayle with Senna. That would be a
fasting Kayle. That's crazy.
Fasting Kayle could be an interesting pairing. It looks like Pyosik down here is about to make some fireworks happen.
Yep, diving in. Yeah, he's going to cancel that turret like you were talking about, Viper. Immediate cleanse, but Lehends not going to be so lucky. Chovy turns up. There's the flash scoop, and Viper also going to be taken down very low. Crescendum not doing enough at this stage of the game, and that's 2 swift kills here for DRX. Teleport in towards the bottom side as CuVee looking for a heroic charge. Does get a stun onto Pyosik there. I don't know whether it's quite going to be enough as in goes Doran. It is the Azir falling down, but the Poppy immediately follows, and 1-for-1 is not what they were wanting to utilize. As Deft and Pyosik take the north exit, flash forward from Mireu, as the Hextech ultimatum comes down from Doran, just looking to keep Keria alive. And Haru's going to close the gap onto the Kayle. Deft looking for it as Haru continuing to push forward. Doran gets out with the hook shot, but will still be snared before he gets off the wall, and that's going to be that, as Haru locks down that kill as well. So, evening things out in the end is Hanwha Life.
Yeah, and so Doran tried to save Keria with the Hextech ultimatum, but in the end, resulted in them both dying. Chovy already back in mid lane. He is getting the shove up immediately. Viper getting some turret plates under his belt, and that was a interesting series of events in terms of the trade.
I mean, it works out very well for Pyosik and Deft. They're both sitting on 1-0-2.
Chovy as well.
Yep.
Very, very powerful reset for him.
But Olaf now is going to be able to hold on to a lot of relevance, especially with Akama in the mid lane. Will mean that he'll have access to those shields and speed boosts much easier than he otherwise would. So Haru might be able to help snowball into a later stage as Pyosik will find CuVee steps on his buckler, which is quite rude.
Yeah.
No worries. Let's have a look at this one again. Take us through it, LS.
Well, so they go in for the play. It's a really good ultimate by Pyosik. Now, he goes on to Viper. The cleanse comes out. Chovy knows that he can still reach him with the Shurima Shuffle. It almost looked like Lehends was going to be able to get away, but they got the kill. And so this is where things got a little bit weird. They wasted a bit of time killing the minions, but it's not the end of the world. Good ultimate by CuVee, but he ends up dying. Now, if they all retreat through the left-hand side, rather than going down and south, everyone gets out of the way.
Yeah, it's very weird that they decided to move out of the way.
Kayle. Kayle 봐. 천천히 해봐. 다 왔어. 카멜. 스턴. 아, 잠깐만, 천천히 봐. 나이스, 이득 봤다.
In live, we can see that there was some action happening. Bottom lane, Chovy now, potentially in a bit of trouble, but he's going to shift some sands, get himself out of here. Yep, bottom side of the map, Deft and Keria. I believe they managed to get at least one of these plates to be given over to them. It might have been that another one went wanting, as Haru's going to be discovered here by Pyosik. Better Olaf going to win out in the trade, as you can see.
Yeah.
Despite being a kill down. Still very similar on items. CuVee having a good time here towards the top side, but a cull picked up by Doran.
Well.
Olaf's here.
Now, Olaf is around, and I mean, not a whole lot is happening. Rift Herald is on the side of Hanwha Life, but big trade actually coming out. CuVee gets way better end of that. Doran.
Yeah, it's a free heroic charge. Like that one a lot.
Yeah.
And CuVee, the lone member of Hanwha Life that does have a gold advantage of 100. As Doran's probably going to even that one out pretty swiftly here underneath the turret, unless this turret plate's going to help CuVee out. Looks like he is going to be able to make that one work, as he does get that turret plate gold. Oh, another heroic charge as CuVee just grabs the kill for himself. Underneath the turret, steals it away. Just greedy for Doran, looking for that siege minion. And
Doran just, sometimes he does this. Sometimes, you know, he really lives up to the fact that he's a starter item.
He is definitely a starter item.
Doesn't really go the distance, but Rift Herald now, it's going to bring Hanwha Life within 500 gold of DRX, and this is definitely a closer game as the early to mid transition starts taking place than I think anyone probably could have accounted for. So,
oh, Chovy possibly in trouble here as the Emperor's Divide. The Olaf, of course, is going to walk through it. Chovy's just dead. Pyosik will be able to take down the Rift Scuttler, so they'll have vision of Hanwha Life taking the Drake away from them, but I don't think they're going to be able to do anything about it. Chovy, 20 seconds, and he will have teleport available, but no Emperor's Divide. And Hanwha pretty happy just to keep pushing down the mid lane and take this Drake at the same time.
Yeah. And they're going to get that dragon. Let's see if Infernal will spawn. No, it's going to be Mountain.
Yeah, Keria gets a bit of movement speed for Deft and himself. So we'll see whether the volleys are going to be able to land here under Hanwha Life. But they pick up the minion wave. And 2 Drakes, Mountain Soul coming up. And DRX with a very slight gold advantage. But I don't know whether their composition is better as we move later into this game. It is certainly good. But you look at Aphelios, you look at Karma being able to augment all of that damage. Cosmic Radiance is always so strong in the late game. There's another heroic charge.
Yeah, on the
Doran
cannon.
just walks into it.
And so Doran's been denied a couple of cannons by these Poppy stuns. And the Volibear, I mean, he's not really going to be a factor in the later stages.
There's the Dazzle. We've got Draven and Cogmore out from Viper. A lot of extra damage. As Deft still trying to trade back, but cancels a few autos. Really what you want to see. A lot of chakrams built up here by the Aphelios.
Yeah. And Viper and Lehends, they are down in CS department. Obviously very close on plates, not the end of the world. Not sure where Viper's going to go actually with this first item. This will be interesting to see.
Yeah, we saw some of these cute little Vampiric Scepter pickups.
아지라고
Teddy, I believe, was the last one to do it. As Doran, we're just going to watch him die underneath this turret.
Okay.
But no, back to live here as no dazzles to be had. And CuVee taxis himself forward with a heroic charge, but he's not going to find the CC on this tower. Very low. Deft actually taking a lot of damage there from Mireu. They're just going to brute force this.
Yeah. They're going to give up the turret. And so this is going to be Hanwha Life with a gold advantage at 13.5 minutes right now.
Yeah, first turret blood going over to them. And not a lot more plates that any of the teams are going to be able to pick up, so a lot of extra money going into the hands of Hanwha as Mireu's going to turn back up again. There's the flash forward from Haru. Shifting Sands is going to be there for Chovy though. So I don't know whether using your flash that aggressively on Haru's side was really a great idea, but did guarantee the trade of flashes.
Yep.
Oh, this is high value from Doran. If you can get another one within the next 3 seconds, you might be able to. Oh, well,
not
plates
sure.
fall down.
Yeah. Mountain's up in 2.5 minutes. And as everything...
Got it.
He might have, yeah.
Hookshot gets him out of there. A little bit afraid of the fabulous man himself in the Taric as he makes his way up. As we're just going to go back to this. Let's have a look at it again.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And not saying anything. Goes in.
Yeah.
Asking where the enemy Volibear was, but
didn't seem to matter.
Yeah, it didn't really matter on that trade.
Keria is here towards the top side. We'll be able to pick up a little bit of farm here maybe, but no. Counter minion's going to soak up a lot of that aggro, and Ashe should be able to get there in time. Mireu grabs himself a blue buff. This bottom outer turret is very low for Hanwha Life, but not going to be taking too much aggression, as DRX still find themselves with a slight gold advantage, surely to be taken, or at least looked at by Hanwha. Deft and Keria up here towards the top side. Pyosik looking for position. As Hanwha Life again with really good vision around the objectives that they're looking for. DRX have been falling behind in that department.
And it is definitely interesting. I mean, we have 1 minute until Mountain comes up, and this would be a pretty good timing for DRX to actually fight because they have so much value on the Azir and the Ashe, whereas Aphelios is still waiting on an item completion. Poppy and Camille, even though CuVee's been doing really good, Camille's items right now are more valuable, even though it's just the Trinity Force components. Also almost has that call complete. This is a very weird angle for Hanwha Life to try to fight in, and so
they're also just milling about. You can see Azir has a good time in the mid lane, pushes that wave out, denies a bunch of CS against Mireu, and Hanwha Life haven't been able to actually make up their minds on what they're doing here around the Rift Herald. Bleeding a little bit of gold. That's going to extend the lead as Pyosik even just going to be starting this one off. Only 2 more stacks on the cull as well for Doran. He will get that extra gold. And it's looking okay here for DRX. 1 second. Mountain Drake now live. This Rift Herald is going to be used as a distraction as well. See whether DRX can actually take their first Drake of the game. I think fighting for this one's a really good idea. You want to deny all of those free defensive stats that the Mountain Drake does give you. As Shirley pops down into the mid lane as Viper's going to turn up. Viper with a level disadvantage at the moment on the Aphelios. Pyosik will make this one a 50-50 as the teleport comes in. Heroic charge to get the Volibear out of this fight. He gets the ultimate from the Kayle, though, as now Cosmic Radiance going to come in. Everyone going to be immune to damage as Pyosik has to ult to get himself out, and the Mountain Drake is secured by Hanwha Life, by Aphelios of all champions. Really well played there by Hanwha just to make the death ball and guarantee that they were going to be able to get that Drake and get out.
Yeah, DRX was very late to the party. And so Hanwha Life, even though they're down 1,000 gold, they pick up that mountain. It's massive for their champions against DRX's. And so the threatening soul point in 4.5 minutes is the closest Hanwha Life probably could ever imagine to come. And so take a look at this action here. Poppy pins Volibear against the wall. They all go in on him. And Kayle's ultimate, it doesn't get the kind of value that it would hope for. Chovy can't get into the pit. Ashe gets knocked away. Volibear defensive ultimate. And Mountain Drake just goes over to Hanwha Life. So DRX just very, very slow. And things are looking a little bit weird right now.
I mean, CuVee is going to be so difficult to kill if they manage to get that Mountain Soul. My god, the Poppy just gets so much value. As Mireu going to help clear out these Krugs. And DRX with a lot of vision on the top side. Minute and a half until Baron spawns for the first time this game. And DRX still sitting there with about 1,000 gold in the lead of Hanwha. But it's starting to feel less and less relevant. I feel like this Poppy's really doing some work. CuVee back to his old ways in being that tank one trick. And it's working.
And, well...
Oh, frustrating.
Yeah.
This is the counter minion and the melee. But that's fine. Everyone on DRX are just a bit further ahead than their counterparts.
Yeah, 1,500. But remember, Poppy's items, Karma's items, they're all epic in the sense that... I'm thinking
the item level's higher.
Yeah, the item levels aren't...
All right, Emperor's Divide does not find Haru, but he's still going to flash as well as using the Ragnarok, which is interesting. CuVee turns up, and now they're looking to try and corral.
They don't have Doran.
Yeah, the kiting potential of the Ashe, though, will stop Hanwha from being able to close the distance. Viper moves out, and Camille's set to do work here on the bottom side. Is the split push going to work this game? LS. Maybe that's going to be where DRX can make something happen.
You know, one of the most interesting things is one of the techs that you can actually do against split push champions is you can just go third item Warmogs if you're a tank.
Oh yeah, the old Ornn strategy.
Yeah, you walk in front of the wave as it arrives, right just outside the turret range. You kill the whole wave, you let the opponent do 80-90% of your life, and then you walk back onto turret, you go back to full HP.
Yep.
And against almost every split pusher, except for maybe Fiora, who can probably chew through you quick enough while you're trying to do that, you're going to be pretty fine. And so I think it makes split pushers even weaker than what previously they were perceived to be. And so, yeah, I mean, Poppy can absolutely go Warmog as third item. So many champions can. Shen can, Ornn. So many that just hold them down and force them to teamfight. And Camille, it's not that she's a weak team fighter, but she doesn't want to be team fighting against this Hanwha Live team comp.
No, this Hanwha comp is very, very adept at getting those fights working, which is why I posed the question. But as we could see, I mean, the Poppy was just walking up to minion waves way ahead of her own wave and happily tanking it up. This feels like CuVee's in a good position. Trinity Force done for Doran, but defensive stats just a bit more efficient. Does now have a Spectre's Cowl, so building more for the team fight. As we're having a look at the gold difference over time. Certainly looking like the Alps at this point.
Yeah.
DRX retain a lead as they've moved up to somewhere near 3,000. Sort of just from a few turrets falling down.
I love you, 3,000.
Yeah. Aww.
Yeah, you remember.
It's been a while.
Honestly, I could say that to Valdez. He wouldn't get it. It's like...
No, but I mean, he got something yesterday. What was it? Final Fantasy X references?
Yeah,
I was so proud of him.
Proud of him, too.
Oh,
he probably watched a YouTube video, let's be honest. Though, you know, like...
Yeah. Or he only played the re-release that came out on Switch or something like that.
Valdez's idea of excitement is talking about Solitaire.
Hey, I like Solitaire as CuVee. He likes team fights. He's going to jump in, gets the ulti onto Deft, but Deft gets himself back into position. Haru now just melting and will die before that Cosmic Radiance. Doran as well has the ult through as he decides to start this fight off. The Poppy goes down. Lehends going to follow. A triple kill already for Chovy, who wants to get the player of the game. Dives on forward, scoops up Viper. Keria steals the kill away. It's a KS, but not a POG-S. All right, don't you worry about that as DRX now moving towards Mountain Drake and Baron.
Yeah, so they're moving towards Baron. They are allocating 2 members over to the mountain. So they're going to have their cake and eat it too. Mireu is maybe going to move over to the Dragon just to scout on it. And I actually think it's so bizarre. I mean, they know about where Karma is, so I guess it's not that bizarre, actually.
I do like that DRX at least took the Drake as well as the Baron.
Yeah.
This is a step up.
Well,
success.
Let's take a look at this fight one more time. So, Dragon's about to start. CuVee says, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins right into the enemy team. Loses his bone plating. Haru gets locked up. Doesn't get the Cosmic Radiance to come down onto him. Camille jumps right in, and Aphelios, he hasn't had enough years to grow up yet. So, doesn't quite have all the damage. Switches to Gravitum, tries to lock him down inside of turret range. And then Chovy with the Shurima Shuffle, able to bring down Viper as well. So what was looking so good is now looking so bad.
Yeah, it's real rough. I feel like you can't be starting a fight with your Aphelios pre-industrial revolution. You know, you really need to get
really
there.
Bad. It really is, yeah.
Otherwise, can't come all steampunk and just destroy you and stuff like that. We just don't have that yet. As DRX now find themselves with a much larger gold advantage. And it's just so strange. They've sort of pulled 7,000 gold out of nowhere. They've taken turrets around the map, I guess, but Hanwha were able to demand some respect. Just hasn't amounted to anything.
Yeah. And I think if this was another team other than DRX from the third Drake point forward, I think Hanwha Life.
Oh, well, we're forcing a fight here as Deft is going to flash aggressively. Arrow is going to land. Immediate cleanse there from Viper, who soaks it. I think intentionally. That was pretty smart, to be honest.
I am taking
Still going to be something to spell down.
Some player of the game points from Chovy, though, because this is a perfect Leandre's game for Azir.
Oh, true.
And he doesn't have it.
Might be able to go back and sell all of his items. There's another flash in as they're just trying to force over and over again. Cosmic Radiance maybe a little bit too early, though, as the Kayle is singled out and destroyed. But is it going to be enough? Pyosik, a really big bear in the back line of Hanwha Life as Chovy. There's the Emperor's Divide. This will be the end of the game, and I have a feeling an Azir player of the game as well, as once again, DRX are looking to be successful against Hanwha Life. I think everyone was expecting this. I wasn't expecting Hanwha to be so competitive in this game, but they were. They were looking better than in game number 1 at least, but it's still the same result. As this Nexus is going to go down, Deft decides to tie to a Fountain Laser because why not? Maybe just to see what the skin looks like.